What is happening, everybody? So, I'm still doing a little truck shopping. Next vehicle on the list, you know it, Toyota Tundra. So, at first look, the impression that I got from the Toyota Tundra was that it is the most youthful looking vehicle of the group so far that I've checked out. And that is a good thing and a bad thing. It's got a lot of youthful qualities. Some of those qualities are great when you're talking about appearance and the feel, the driving experience of the truck. But some youthful qualities are sometimes not so great, like the feeling that it's not quite evolved yet. So let me get to the positives first, but before I do that, let me give you the specs on the truck that I drove. Crew cab, SR5 with a 5.7 V8 and the 430 rear axle ratio. Basically had a towing package. And that was the truck that I wanted to check out. I didn't really want to go for something laden down with a bunch of bells and whistles, but I wanted something nice. Crew cab, 430 rear gear. I wanted to give this truck every opportunity to be a little bit of a hot rod. Well, let me tell you about the driving experience. First of all, the Toyota Tundra feels smaller than it really is, and that is an awesome thing, and it lends itself again to that youthful nature of the truck. The way that truck made me feel driving it around was, well, I felt like a kid almost. Yeah, I didn't want to drive the thing around on the freeway or on side streets. I wanted to go tearing ass through a field somewhere with this truck. Even though it was a two-wheel drive, I felt like that thing just did not want to be on the highway, that it would have been much more at home at play, really, than at work, so to speak. And that's one of the qualities that you just can't put that into words. It's an experience, an overall attitude of the truck that the Ford certainly did not produce. And if you're buying a truck and you're looking for something that just makes you want to go outdoors, makes you want to get in the thing and just drive it for fun, the Toyota might be the truck for you. Now, as far as performance goes, all right, well, this is part of the youthful part of the description that, well, it's not quite there yet. And what I mean by that is the 6-speed automatic is holding the truck back. That truck has the same basic specifications as my Hemi. And even with the more aggressive 430 rear gear, the truck just felt a little sluggish. And it would carry the gears out for, it just seemed like a little too long under wide open throttle conditions. At one point I looked down at the tach, I was thinking, my God, is this thing revving out to 7,500 RPM or what? But it's just the nature of that 6-speed automatic. I'm jaded now by having the 8-speed. I'm used to shifts, rapid succession, and when something is just revving out as long as that truck did, it was just, I don't know, you got the impression that the truck was just working harder than it should to accelerate at the rate that it was accelerating. But again, a lot of that has to do with that 8-speed automatic that the Dodge has and how it is able to transmit power to the rear wheels. It's not a bad thing though. It's just, it just adds to this sense that the truck isn't quite evolved yet. Toyota, get with the times. It's 2017. Please put an 8-speed in that truck. It would completely change the complexion of a truck that's already fun to drive into one that performs as well as or better than the Dodge and would at least be able to hold its own with an EcoBoost. So there's that in a nutshell. One of the qualities about that truck is that, again, getting into that youthful feeling that truck will give you is when I say the truck feels smaller than what it really is, it's more flickable. It seems like it responds quicker to inputs. But with that comes a little bit more road noise, more interior noise than what the Ford or the Dodge gives. And yeah, there's an interior quality to that truck that, again, it just feels like it's not quite as evolved. But that's not a knock on the truck. And especially when you consider the price point of that SR5. The truck that I test drove was $36,000. And when you look at it from that standpoint, that's just the sticker. That truck, with discounts, rebates, what have you, you could probably get that thing down to around 32, 33. I don't know, I'm just spitballing, but I guess the point is you can get a ton of truck for not that much money, and one that's actually kind of fun to drive around. So in getting into, would I buy that truck? Well, man, I gotta tell you, I'm not so sure that I'm in love with the truck enough to actually buy one. With the main caveat being, if it had a different transmission, it would be the exact truck that I would buy. Something that gives a more youthful driving experience. Something that's not necessarily as refined as the Ford, but is still more youthful than the Dodge. Something that I feel like I can take and beat the living hell out of, which, of course, let's admit that Toyota has a stellar reputation for longevity, durability, and reliability. To have that confidence in my back pocket, that would do a ton into getting me to take a second look at the Tundra. But unfortunately, that's not the case. The truck is stifled with the 6-speed automatic, and in this day and age, it's going to take more than mediocre performance on road to get me as a Mopar guy to split keys between myself and a Toyota. I just don't see me doing it anytime soon. But do something with that transmission and we might have another conversation. But that's my take on that Tundra. Post up your comments if you've got one. How do you like it so far? And that's a wrap. Adios.